Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you for joining us a little bit later than usual. We are extremely excited to have you here with us to play Rocket Club by M. Hubbard and Evil Hat. We are doing this as a part of Rocket Club, a multi-stage anthology, which is a collaboration across 4 channels, ours here, Streaming Rainbow, with Pocket Dragon Pub, Pantsless Tables, and Nerds with Dice, in celebration of M's open playtest of Rocket Club throughout the month of April and May until the end of May 2026. So if you're watching this live or watching this in that time period, please check out the link on the Evil Hat website, possibly below as well, evilhat.com/rocket-club, and sign up to take part in this playtest of this fantastic game system that I really could not recommend highly enough. I mean, the best recommendation I have is I've been running 4 campaigns of it simultaneously, and not only am I not tired of it, I want more, right? It pilots very well. These casts are fantastic. The folks you're going to be watching today do really incredible work. I'm grateful to all of you for being here with us. If you sign up on that link, you're able to get a 172-page PDF plus supporting materials for free. All that we ask and they ask in return is if you have any thoughts on the game based on what you watch here, what you watch with any of their shows, or anything you try out directly or just pick up from reading it, share the feedback because we want this already amazing game to be its best self by the time it publishes, hopefully next year. So with all that having been said, before we get back into the Badlands, let's say hello to our table. Hello, table. I'm going to kick table. It first.
Hi, table.
Hey.
Hello,
Hi.
Table.
And to the chairs out there, you two.
Hey, that is what we like. We are inclusive of chairs here at Streaming Rainbow. You heard it here first. Cuck chairs especially. And with that, I'm going to give it to Andy.
Hi, my name's Andy. My pronouns are they, any. And I will be playing Maxime Max Dizon. Their pronouns are they, them. I have a bike and I've strapped a bunch of rockets to it. It'll be great. It'll work, I promise.
Please popcorn it to whoever you'd like.
I'll popcorn it to Neon this time.
Oh, snap. That's me. Hi, I'm Neon Saline. My pronouns are they, she, and I will be playing Kayla Michaels. Her pronouns are she, her, and she made a Mega Man blaster out of boredom in this club. So that's interesting. Is that? And I'm going to pass it over to Fish.
Hello, I'm Fish. I go by Fish Finley all over the interwebs. I'm playing Astrid Parker, a totally normal human child. That's yep. I'm gonna popcorn it over to Green.
Hi everyone. My name is Green, the person, not the color, or Grete, whatever you want to use, and I will be playing Marisol Juniper here today. Pronouns she, her. She used to have a jetpack that was also her backpack. It has since destroyed a car. And now we're here running in the woods, just like every other child.
Yeah, it's super chill. I mean, I don't know what you all might have heard out there in interweb land about what happened last session, or if you were here with us, thank you for that. If you weren't here with us, I'd love you to stay, but also go back and watch what happened before. It's going to make a lot of things make more sense. But
not
just
to interrupt,
so you know,
but I'm realizing that I forgot to describe the rocket part of the Rocket Club of my character.
Please do. Please do.
Rocket boots. That's all. Have a great day.
That's what we're here for. We're here for rocket boots and cuck chairs. Which, to be clear, I specifically mean lifeguard chairs. Because everyone knows here at Streaming Rainbow, lifeguards are cucks. Anyway, as we dive back into our immediate situation, I just want to let everybody know that any rumors about anything being a little bit off or dangerous are vastly exaggerated. This is going to be a super chill day. However, on a more serious note, if at any point anybody watching this needs to step away for a moment because of anything we engage in, this is a game where our protagonists are middle school students. We approach that with great care. We talk about everything with regard to safety here at Streaming Rainbow a lot, right? Take care of yourselves. Do what you got to do. Take a breather, right? We will be here, and we will love you either way. We have all sorts of other programming that don't feature kids, too, if that's going to be more what you're in the mood to watch today. All right. With that having been said, welcome back to our town. We return to our sleepy, heat-baked, mid-century desert town, a place where the oppressive heat usually slows time to a crawl. But today, time ran out. The quiet facade of this town has shattered. And you four are the only ones who are really awake enough to see it. Well, almost. Kai's there too. It started with a chilling discovery. Marisol witnessing a living shadow? Maybe more than one? Is that what that is? Possess Cindy at the gas station, and the unearthing of a cryptic note warning that someone is already listening to the frequencies and never trust that voice. It culminated in the Badlands, where we find ourselves now, in a tense standoff between the Rocket Club and 6 hostile conspiracy theorist adults who had cornered a terrified kid, mentioned before, named Kai. But see, all of you didn't back down. You proved why you are the Rocket Club. You created a symphony of chaos. Kayla fired a firework from her Mega Man-style projectile rig straight into a grown man's chest. Marisol's jetpack caused a vehicular explosion, and Max scooped up Astrid on their bike, peeling out to lay a false trail before going to the safety of their hideout without giving away its location. Now, the sun has finally set over the scrubland, casting the world in deep, heavy darkness, and the Rocket Club is fractured. Max, Astrid, you have successfully evaded your pursuers and made it to the fort. You're standing on the rickety wooden balcony of your hideout, able to catch your breath, looking out over the dark, overgrown field below, and in the distance, you can see the lights that you know are not safety, but danger, as they are the flashlights of the aforementioned conspiracy theorist adults, nay pedophiles, watch the first episode, who are chasing down some of your friends. Kayla, Marisol, you are deep in that dark field. The tall native Cosmo flowers and rusted scrap metal hide you for the moment as you duck around, desperately trying to find what you can hear at a distance is a frantic Kai, who you can bring to safety through the brush while hopefully avoiding the sweeping flashlight beams of the angry adults hunting you. Now, Max, Astrid, you're also able to see from the balcony the headlights of the remaining pickup truck cutting through the darkness, the other having taken off and followed you, it thinks, somewhere else. You watch as a couple of the men march into the field after your friends, and you keep watching as one of the adults who was told to hang back and guard the truck does that. Kayla, Marisol, you're close enough in the brush to hear him still grumbling to himself as he leans against the truck and pulls out a cigarette. Max, Astrid, you see him strike that match. In the sudden flare of the flame and the glowing red cherry of the cigarette, you see it all. You see a shadow that doesn't make any sense. You see a shadow that shouldn't be there move through the darkness, peel off the roof of the truck, hook downward, and completely envelop this man's face and then body as there is a sudden, violent, muffled sound of a struggle. The cigarette drops to the dirt, showering sparks, and the man is violently ripped upward, disappearing completely into the dark sky. The field is dead silent. The men with the flashlights haven't noticed yet. Max, Astrid, you're watching from above. Kayla, Marisol, you are hiding in the grass yards away. What do you do?
Phew.
I think on the balcony, as like Max and Astrid are watching all of this happen, Max is going to crouch down, turn to Astrid, and you're like, okay, what do we do? What do we do? What was that? How that happened?
I think Astrid has kind of mentally locked into all right. That was a lot, and it continues to be a lot, and what the hell is that? And so they lock into what is kind of their go-to set of behaviors in any of these situations, which is just absorb as much information as possible. It's what is happening and what can I understand about it. That is their like go-to, I don't understand, I don't know what to do thing. So I think as Max is like, oh, what do we do? Astrid is still just looking over the balcony, trying to like, can I find Kayla and Marisol? Can I find Kai? Did this guy really just disappear into the sky? Are there any other people that are disappearing into the sky? Are there any other shadows that I can see? Like, what other information can I gather from just like continuing to scan?
That sounds perfect. Maxime, do you have any interest in helping? Is there a secondary thing you'd like to do as well? Those are not exclusive. You can choose both if you'd like.
I think as Astrid begins to focus and try to look for information, Max doesn't catch on right away. So as Astrid is kind of just staring out and does not reply, Max is going like, well, you're not saying anything? Are we fine? Is that guy gone? I saw the car drive away. Is that them? No, that's a rabbit.
I think Astrid turns to you and goes, shh.
Okay. Yes, right. Look, where are they? Okay, then I think Max will start helping.
Okay. I love that so much. So from a mechanical perspective, because we're gonna roll about the check that you're making, Fish, as Astrid. Before that, Max is helping how? Because here's the thing. There is a formal mechanic for hindering in Rocket Club, and what you just described is to the T that. So I'm inclined to do a first roll wherein you have now hindered the action. And now, in the wake of that, you can describe how you would like to help, and we can see how the second one goes. Because there's a lot to check on, too. So the truth of the matter is, one roll is probably not going to encompass that. How do we feel about that, gang?
Yeah, that sounds
I love
great.
the hindrance idea.
Okay, perfect. So my question to you, Fish, is what trait do you believe Astrid is primarily using to try to push through the relentless words of Max that are hindering them and focus in on seeing what you can see?
I'm gonna say they're trying to use like I'm gonna argue propulsion because they're leaning into what their instinct is and what they're like. This is what their like their fallback behavior is. They're not trying to necessarily like power through, but they're also not necessarily like doing anything too out of the ordinary. This is their fallback behavior. It's just let me just absorb information now.
Absolutely. I think that's perfect. So you are, if I'm hearing this correctly, essentially following all of these disparate thoughts that you mentioned, noting initially all of these different things that have occurred, and just trying to allow your instincts to quickly tell you, what can I learn something useful about first?
Correct.
Cool. What do you have in propulsion?
3.
You have 2 rerolls now because of the hindering that you received.
Except I still have a +1 reroll on next action from being cool in front of
Kai. Hey, so those cancel out, and you were still at 3. I love that.
I'm winning Rocket Club.
Well, I think if you agree that that is a product of how locked in Astrid is right now, what an incredible day Astrid is having in spite of how, many things are going wrong. Astrid is killing it today.
They just got to flex in front of Kai like 3 times. They're riding this high.
That's true. That is very true. All right, so please roll me 3d6. Let's see where it lands.
Okay. All right, we've got a 5, a 1, and a 4, which is a success, a crisis, and hope. So I'm going to re-roll the 1.
That's a very good idea.
I don't like the crisis here. Okay, I got a 5.
Okay, now here's the interesting thing. So you have a success and learn something. Would you like to use your remaining rerolls to see if you can get a 5 on mood and get a triple?
I would. Also because I would like to see if I can roll something other than hope, because I rolled hope a couple of times last session.
Copy that. Sounds good.
This is interesting. I got 1, which is fear, and I think I have 1 more reroll, so I'm just gonna
go
for it.
Yeah.
Oh, a 5!
Hey, all right. That is why you bet,
Shout out
kids.
Smoking Glue Guns Dice. 10 of 10 knows how to tell a story.
Everybody here at the channel knows that Fish's Dice are very good storytellers, just as Fish's. So thank you for your collaboration, Smoking Glue Guns. And thank you to gambling, because what we just learned, kids, is that when you gamble, you win. All right, so you are going to have the opportunity to have a flashback. You have earned a success, learned something, which I will remind the audience what that means when we get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And your mood is thrill. First question I have for you is thrill an impulse or a question?
Thrill is a question.
What is the question?
How can everyone tell you're excited?
I would say if you want to find out what you learned first, and then maybe we do the flashback if you decide to embrace it as a reminder. If you embrace the flashback, other player characters can be involved, don't have to be. It's up to you. It could be from 5 minutes ago. It could be from 5 years ago. It just needs to be in the mood that you rolled. So it needs to be in the mood of thrill. And it needs to relate to what you rolled about now in whatever way makes sense to you. Once you've done that, if you want, we might come around to you having more of an understanding of what might be thrilling to you and how you would express excitement over it. And then we can have you learn something about that. Does that order sound okay?
Sorry, what thing is first?
First is I would tell you what the outcome is. So you succeeded, right? This is the thing that you picked up on. Then, if that feels like it gives you enough to go off of, if you decide to embrace your flashback from rolling a triple, you would then take us into the flashback. We would run that together. If other characters were involved, we would involve them. When that's done, we would come back. And if you feel ready at that point to answer the thrill question, you could answer it. If not, we could learn something first and then do the thrill.
Okay, that works for me.
Cool beans. All right, so you were watching this incomprehensible thing. Your mind saw it clearly. You did absolutely see a shadow peel off of a roof of a car, swallow somebody up and shoot up into the sky. It's just not a thing that makes sense, right? So you saw it clearly, but your mind is taking a second to process that. Nope, it didn't make a mistake. That's the real thing you saw. You are attending to that. But what's really catching you is that your friends are in the field, right? So the thing that I think you pick up on first here is that while these guys with their flashlights up are not seeing your friends, you've seen them 2 or 3 times in the flashlight beam so far. So these guys are not far away. They're just not paying not enough attention, or it's not the right angle. You're higher up and further away. But you know there's not a lot of distance between your friends and these guys. And you can hear Kai across the field from over there. Kai is not being quiet. I will leave it to Marisol and Kayla when we get to them to describe how quiet or not they're being. We don't have to establish that now, but Kai for sure, no. Absolutely making a completely unreasonable amount of noise for the situation that they're in right now.
Okay.
As just one final thing onto that, especially since you rolled so well on a triple, you do see a way that these two concerns come together a little bit, because you do see other shadows that had come off of the car peel up off of the ground on either side of it and slither into the field, where you lose track of them in the dark.
Cool. I do have an idea for a flashback.
Okay.
And Andy, please let me know if this seems out of character for Max, but I would like to include Max in this, of this kind of moment of thrill. There has been many a time where Astrid has secretly worked on Max's rig to like tune it up or like fix it up a little bit. I think it would make sense for Astrid and Max to test it out together sometimes in the field outside. And you know, not every repair goes 100% all the time, constantly, and sometimes when you press the accelerator, it just yeets into the distance. And sometimes you are stuck on the vehicle whilst it does that. And I think the flashback Astrid's having is of this moment of like when Max and Astrid were zooming through the field together because some shenanigans went awry, and now they're just experiencing this thrill of like just going off into the distance with reckless abandon because of this open field, and is kind of trying to use that string of flashback as like inching back to what other landmarks are in the field potentially that could help, or like anything from that experience that could potentially help their friends. But they're thinking about the last time that they just like in a similar way, but with slightly less control.
I love that. Before we move back to the present moment, Andy, how did Max feel in that moment that we flashed back to just now?
I think when the bike started going, Max was thrilled, happy beyond belief that it's finally working. And then they noticed the brake wasn't working. Panic. Immediately switching to like, we had a fire extinguisher somewhere. Looks down, sees they forgot to grab it. Panic again. Sees that Astrid is having a good time, and then I think the excitement comes back.
I think to draw a parallel between this as well is this is similar to kind of the ride into the hideout just now too, in that like it was this moment of like synergy between the two characters despite their completely opposite initial emotions.
Absolutely. I think it parallels it perfectly. I think as we come back into this moment, if you agree, Fish, it feels like the best thing to do next is learn something before we go to how you express the thrill in the present moment. Because we are connecting this flashback back up, and you can mark an experience for having embraced that flashback. Where are you at on your experience tracker now?
3.
All right, perfect. Once it's full, you're able to. Once it hits, for everybody at home to know, in case you haven't had a chance to see yet, once you hit 5 on your experience tracker, you are able to be emotionally and psychologically ready to confide your secret in one of the other player characters. At which point, once you do that, if the other player character returns that confidence with support, you're both able to mark advancements. The person who confessed their secret, it's no longer a secret. They pick a new secret mood. They are able to take a major or minor advancement, and then they are able to continue from there with their new secret and a fully fresh, entirely clear experience track. The person who receives that confidence and replies in kind with support is able to mark a minor advancement. Whenever we get around to doing that, we'll get into the details of what that means. In this moment, you rolled a 5 on side effect. You're able to learn something. As a reminder for everybody at the table and everybody at home, you can ask the guide, me in this case, one of the following questions or something similar to these questions about your immediate situation. So anything that I just described, anything that you would connect up between what I just described and anything that the flashback made you think about is fair game. What has been hidden or overlooked? How is this person vulnerable? I would ask you to pinpoint who exactly. What is the biggest threat right now? What is my best path forward? What is the best escape route?
I think what is the biggest threat right now is the most like logical, immediate question that Astrid has.
Sure.
I think that's the biggest looming is like what is the biggest threat? Is it the people? Is it the shadows? Is it the fact that Kai's making noise? Is it the fact that like the Marisol and Kayla are out there by themselves? Like what is the biggest thing that needs to be addressed first?
That makes sense. I'm going to give you a double answer here because with what you just asked, it's the only way that I can. It feels like one to me. So if these adults were to reach your friends, it would be extremely dangerous, right? They are in a, you know, from the interaction that you just had and their demeanor when interacting with you all, they do not seem to have any compunctions about potentially being rough with you all. They fully intended to take Kai potentially somewhere else. No reason for you to think they wouldn't do that to all of you if they could. You don't know everything that they have with you. So in a grounded in day-to-day experience sense, you understand that this is an incredibly imminent threat for your friends. You also just saw a living shadow peel off the roof of a car, swallow someone whole and shoot into the sky, and then you saw 2 more of them slither behind these guys and your friends. So you understand that if those things get your friends, you don't know what's going to happen to them. Whereas if the conspiracy theorists get your friends, you kind of know what's going to happen to them. So between the two, you might be inclined to think that it is more actionable for you to deal with the humans getting them than dealing with whatever else is there getting them. That having been said, you don't know who the shadows are going after. So if the shadows could be persuaded somehow to put their attention on the conspiracy theorist adults, one of whom at least they grabbed up and shot into the sky with already, maybe that fixes both of your problems.
Okay. I think I turn to Max and I say, so we have 2 major problems. We have the big shadows that have nabbed a couple of the adults or nabbed the adult into space. And we have the adults are trying to get to our friends. And we know what's going to happen if the adults get them. They're probably going to take them somewhere and then we'll have to break them out like we, can do. But if the shadows get them, I don't really know what they are or what they want. So what do you think?
Okay, so they need to get away, but we saw both of we specifically saw Marisol's rig explode, and we saw Kayla's sort of hit the ground hard, right? So are we aware that their rigs are broken?
100%. You know that they are without rocket rigs, and just so that we are clear on this at a mechanical level, separate from what's going on in the fiction, that does mean that obviously Marisol, Kayla, when we get to you, you're not going to have your rocket moves available to you, and you're also not going to have your breakdown boxes available to you.
Okay. If one of them if Marisol had their pack, maybe they could get away. But wait, wait, wait. They have a spare here somewhere, right? And I would like to propose, do we want to try and uh, r- very quickly rocket surgery something for one of them to use and just toss it out into the woods?
So I deeply love this for so many reasons. You absolutely can do rocket surgery, just the two of you, if you want. I gotta say, I'm really excited. This is the first time that I have the possibility of rocket surgery with just part of the party, and that is deeply, deeply wonderful for me. What do you think Astrid has to say about that?
I think Astrid thinks that that's the most reasonable next step forward. It's like we can't go out and help them if they can't also then help themselves. And the best thing to do here would be to get a rocket rig together and get it to our friends. To answer the thrill question though, so it doesn't completely disappear into the ether. As Astrid is telling you this, there's this same like wave of orange across their eyes that was there when they were staring down the adults. There's also a stripe of magenta.
Okay.
It's like I'd say it's like the first time that it's been like dual colored, like distinctly, rather than just like a wave of one color over another.
Max, how does that feel to see that?
I think Max feels more reassured because they know that when Astrid has that glint in their eye, usually things end up okay.
Astrid just does this.
that.
Don't worry about it. They're a normal human child, and their eyes just do this. And then Astrid will also try to help. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So as a reminder for everybody at home and for the folks at the table, rocket surgery is a special action performed when your rocket club works together to create a new rocket rig. The new invention will be an incredible piece of technology cobbled together from the parts at hand, just like your starting rocket rigs. But they don't have to fall into one of the rocket rig categories. They might not even involve rockets at all, although you might want to work out a way to get it out to the field, right over there. This action differs from a regular action roll because more than one player character works together on it, and you don't roll using a trait. Instead, you follow the blueprint that I'm about to walk us through. While deciding what the new creation does and how you're going to go about making it, you also get to determine the number of rerolls. The number of people working on the project is already taken into account, so help rules don't apply. One of you is going to be able to roll, and then what I'll do to make it participatory for everybody at the table is whichever one doesn't do the main roll would be able to do any re-rolls that we do, since there's just two of you. All right. First question up on the blueprint. These questions are all discussed at the table and then added up. What does it do? Here's the menu of options. One cool thing, like launching a grappling hook or intercepting police radio. Each additional cool thing, and then each incredible thing. So how we're defining incredible thing here is something along the lines of invisibility, anti-gravity, disintegration. Now these are the costs. The first cool thing you get for free. Each additional cool thing takes one reroll away. Each incredible thing takes two rerolls away. There is no minimum. There's no depth to which you can go. You can add a bunch of these and go deeper. According to what I see here, there is no cap to the number of rerolls that you can have. So if you find a way to stack more rerolls on top of stuff, you can have more than the typical 3 that you would have based on, let's say, a maxed out trait. So what do you want this thing to do?
So before we address that question, I do have a suggestion for what I think Astrid would do first, which is I think Astrid would go to the wall where they built the jelly bean dispenser and find the air pressure mechanism and remove it from that and be all like, hey, I just finished this morning or like this afternoon, but I think this might be helpful.
Yeah, great. It's probably quieter than the various explosives we have in the walls.
I love that. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that is going to help with your next question after this. because
Okay,
it
cool,
will
cool.
speak to the high quality of materials that you have available to you.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is the plan that you all think of it as? First, in this blueprint, you are here conceptualizing and possibly actually designing a blueprint for what this thing is. So what do you want it to do?
Okay. Fish, I have a pitch, and you can tell me if this is stupid or not. Now, the correct answer probably is to just have it do one thing, right? But I feel like the way we should have this is so that either Marisol or Kayla could use it. So, how do you feel about strapping a rocket to what is essentially a fanny pack so that you could either shoot it or use it to propel yourself?
Incredible, fantastic, amazing, spectacular. Like a jetpack.
Question.
Jetpack.
Are you only looking to propel one of you, or do you both want to go? Like, is it the kind of thing where like one of you stays as eye in the sky to watch over this and try to figure it out? Or do you want there to be a communications element to this? Do you want you both to be able to go? What do you want to do?
No, you go first. I didn't have any words. I just had air.
I think the idea was to because I feel like Marisol or Kayla would recognize whatever this cobbled together thing is, right? So the idea was to toss it out where they could find it so that they could use it.
Okay, perfect. Copy that.
I think
So,
functionally, the move we were going for was like usable mobility.
Cool.
Yeah.
Usable mobility, I'm going to say, since it has to like fly over there, essentially.
Mhm.
Part of why I'm asking also, to be clear, is there are 3 people over there. So if only one of them can fly back, right?
I think we want it to be powerful enough to potentially lift more than one person.
Okay.
Like if like someone wearing it is holding someone else.
Okay. So piloted by one person with a second person being held, and then I mean there's 3, so maybe that second person would also need to hold a third person. I would say the flying, like I'd say a part of this is an incredible thing, and there is one additional cool thing to it for the sake of like the rerolls that starts you at a -3 on rerolls.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
if you want to just have it be something that can fly over, be strapped on potentially by Marisol, since Marisol has a jetpack already, and then maybe have a little bit of harnessing that helps hook Kayla in, and that allows Kayla to maybe, I don't know, hold Kai or something. If you'd like Kayla to potentially have something offensive, something that could provide cover, right? Either distraction or something, since that's what her thing is. I could offer that to you depending on what you want it to be, for either the low price of an additional cool thing or the less low price of an additional incredible thing.
What do negative rerolls mean, like in a roll?
So you can't actually, there is no like, it's not like it doesn't put you like disadvantage or anything. It just takes you further away from being able to get back to positives, right?
Okay.
So you would have to do more to be able to get rerolls.
Got it. Okay.
I think I'm down to do the one additional thing, or to
I am too.
Okay.
I think right now we're in a really dangerous and precarious situation, and I think Astrid is riding the thrill of this and isn't necessarily pulling back the way that they need to. Like they're not providing the counterweight to the ambition, so to speak, of trying to get this thing put together.
So what do you pick up? I mean, are you basically like strapping like a potato can into this kind of thing and shoving like a firework in it? Like, are you creating something new? What do you got going on that would be this additional thing?
Well, Nope, that thought died. Never mind. I'm sorry, the ADHD really kicked in there, and it went no.
Don't worry about it.
I think so. There's a rocket attached to the fanny pack. If you open the zipper, there is like a one-time shot of like a handful of jelly beans that could possibly. It's
Actually, to add to that really quick, I think Astrid's I think disassembled the jelly bean dispenser and was like, yeah, I made this earlier because I thought you guys might like jelly beans, but also this is more important and this mechanic might be super helpful. And it's specifically the air pressure mechanism that I was talking about when I was like, that would be like funneling the jelly beans. I think Astrid's gonna try to see if they can incorporate that into the fanny pack jetpack situation as like an alternative way to add speed without adding noise.
I love that. I think that's very cool. We'll say that they're able to move silently through this space, and that there is essentially like a hand crank kind of situation, like a popper one shot of what is sounding to me like scatter shot of jelly beans, right? So essentially, you have like a little tiny handheld shotgun of jelly beans.
Yes,
that would be available. It's in this Yep. Cool. All of that together puts you. Yeah, all that together puts you at a -5. I'm going to say to start off of this to have all these components. All right. What is it made of? Is the second part of this. Mostly scavenged scraps, regular Rocket Club supplies, mostly high quality materials, some alien technology in addition to one of the previous options. You don't have any alien technology yet. I think
it's just like Rocket Club supplies.
And though I did promise before high quality materials, since you were repurposing what has canonically been established is an incredibly, impeccably created jelly dispenser. So you get a +1 from that. Regular Rocket Club supplies would be a flat 0. So you're at -4. Who's making it? 2 club members. So you're at 0. Because there's only 2 of you. If there were 3 or more of you, you'd get a +1. If there were 3 or more with extra help from a capable non-player character, you get a +2. So you're walking into the 4th question of 5 here with -4. How long will it take? We need it now. No time to waste. It's a tight schedule, but we got this. It happens when it happens. No rush.
We need it now.
Yeah. So you're back at -5. -1, tight schedule would be flat. Happens when it happens is a +1. So we need it now. You're at a -5. Here is my favorite part of this process, walking into it with a -5. Drawbacks. You can use each option once, combining the results. I'm going to say, since you're sitting at a -5, I will allow for a second use of the last one if you want. So the first option is major flaw, has to stay in the one location, can only be used once, etc. That is a +1. One additional major flaw, so you could put 2 of those in there, add up to +2. A dangerous defect causing extra unintended harm and destruction is another +2. And what I will offer, while I will not, in order to try to stay closer to rules as written, but also let you have a chance at getting out of negative territory, is if you take all of those 2 major flaws and a dangerous defect, I will allow you to take a second dangerous defect. I will give you one for free, like a +1 for free, and you'll be able to get to a +2 instead of a +1. That's my devil's bargain.
This is my thought. Major flaw, you can only use the jelly bean thing once.
Yeah.
It's got one shot and then it's done. Like we have a limited supply of jelly beans.
May I suggest the second major flaw?
Please.
There is no cool way to use this device. If you use this device, you will look a little lame.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say canonically. Watching this, I hope that you approve of this home rule, and it is an interesting playtest thing. I love this about playtesting so much. So this is what I'm going to say. By choosing that, any rolls that are made while using this thing will automatically have a 3 on side effect. So they will if you take this, they will automatically look foolish on their side effect. So you only have to roll 2 dice on the other on those things. Okay, those are the 2 major flaws. Can I interest you in 1 or 2 dangerous defects?
I am interested.
I am too.
Causes unintended harm and destruction. Andy, what main propulsion device are we using for this? Because I know there's the air pressure, but there's also, you also mentioned there was like something else, but I don't remember what the something else was.
So there is a full rocket on this fanny pack.
Okay.
And so if you have one, I have.
I do have one. I just wanted to make sure that there was firepower in this. And here's the thing. I think Astrid was trying to veer this rocket rig in the direction of being like not explosive. And as a result, the setup is fairly explosive. And I think the dangerous defect is that it like sets a patch of ground on fire as you like maybe like 2 to 3 feet of ground, kind of like the ramp up, revving up, just on fire as you leave the vicinity.
So what you're telling me is that it takes 1.21 gigawatts to work.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that, because also it doesn't necessarily leave a trail of fire. It's just in the launching area. I'll take that. And then what is the final dangerous defect if we are indeed going to go to a +2 on this?
I think the final dangerous defect is I think Max and Astrid failed to realize that jelly beans are mostly sugar next to like what is essentially a high-powered explosive. So there is a chance that the harmless jelly bean shotgun might just fire molten sugar.
Molten sugar. Full shrapnel, molten sugar. Absolutely, this is going to be deeply dangerous. Deeply dangerous.
Yes.
I love
also,
that.
Your friends,
I love that.
Also, your friends don't know any of this, right?
No,
they
they
don't
don't
have a
know
communication
any of
device and any of this. So they're going to receive this package not knowing what anything does. Okay. So
it's okay. I could leave a note. It's fine.
I have one thing of bullshit, if you would allow it.
Yeah, go for it. I love it.
So I have a reputation move called Culture Shock. And I think in the panic of making this thing, Max is sort of in the way that they keep talking to try and calm themselves down, is going to say, you know, I used to live in a place where they didn't call them jelly beans, they called them candy seeds. And my reputation move is, this town is strange. They don't do things the way you're used to when performing an action in a situation that directly involves the town. You can explain how things are different. In addition, would you allow?
I love that. What is it? Wait, what is it? I missed the end there. What does it allow you to do with the end of the movie?
It gives an additional reroll.
Okay, so you're at 3 rerolls.
Okay, know... for the flavor of it, I would also like to use a move. I'm going to use hidden talents to also use Culture Shock.
Okay, how do you use Culture Shock?
Oh shoot, no, I should have thought of the pun first. Nah, that's so weird, because where like my parents always called them nerds. Anyway.
Okay, I want everybody to know this is how hard you're winning Rocket Club. You were at a -5 on this and hustled your way up to a +4. You've got 4 rerolls. on your rocket rig, on your rocket surgery
4
for this
rerolls
rocket rig
and
right now.
2 cultural dialects of how to call a jelly bean.
Yeah.
Canonical.
Candy seeds or nerds?
I love
Check
the
yourself.
idea that Astrid's parents are calling them nerds when there are actual candies called nerds, and the confusion that can create. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, who would like to be the one to roll the initial 3d6, and who would like to be the one waiting in the wings with the rerolls?
I think it would be funny if I rolled the initial 3d6, just because I think Astrid would be trying to take over in terms of the initial construction.
Sure.
So we'll,
Yeah, I
we'll
love that.
see.
Go
We'll
ahead.
see. Okay. 363.
363. So that was, I mean, a lot of prep, and you're in pretty good shape right now. 363 gets us to that's a failure. But you get something extra, and it's with anger. I know you're going to want to reroll the failure. I don't know if you're going to want to reroll the anger. Do you want to reroll the failure first and then see where it goes?
I think that would probably be smart.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and roll me the first of your 4d6 available to you to see where your outcome lands.
This is how you win Rocket Club, guys. That's
a 6.
Okay. So we have a success with something extra, which means the two of you get to decide together, because this is rocket surgery. You only get one side effect between you, but you each have an individual expression for your mood, right? And if that has an impulse and you embrace it, you each individually get to mark experience. For the something extra, together, you're going to decide some small additional action you accomplish related to what you're trying to do. So on top of everything that's in it already, you get something extra. Good.
May I posit that we accidentally left room for a small fabric pocket which we could slide a walkie-talkie into.
I fully would buy that, but what were you going to say, Andy?
I like that. I have a dumb one, depending on whether you'd like to be smart or stupid right now.
No, please hit me with the idea.
Because we want them to find it, right? And this is a means of communication. Yeah. Could we argue that Kayla and Marisol know the scent of the unmistakable jelly beans that have been stewing inside our fort for the past few days, and that's how they find it?
Yes, 100%. If you want the answer to be that the smell of jelly beans is entirely undeniable, you can have an undeniable jelly bean scent. I will remind you that Marisol and Kayla are not the only people with noses.
That's fair. That's fair. I think your idea is probably the smart one.
You're welcome to do both. You know what? I am a benevolent guide. You can have both if you like both.
My only thing here is that it would be a lot easier for those guys to find our fort if it smelled so poignantly of jelly beans.
That's true.
So small alteration on that of instead of them navigating home via jelly bean stench, it's just that the rocket pack smells like jelly beans.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm down for the stench of jelly beans being everything inside the fort. I just am concerned that if it was outside the fort, we'd have more issues.
Marisol, Kayla, I am so excited for the two of you. The stench of
the smell of
beans,
sugar. It's so where's it coming from?
Walking off. Some of it smelling like it's heated for some reason. And there is a walkie-talkie lightly sticky that is in the pocket of this fanny pack rocket rig set up with harnesses. One of you can wear it, strap another one on as a passenger, and leave room for the passenger to hold somebody to go. You have 3 rerolls left and 2 sixes. Would you like to chase a flashback that you each get to have now on your mood and see if you can roll love with your
I think it would be worth it, actually.
Yeah, are we good, Andy?
I think we will. I think we will. I think we'll
Okay. All right, go for it. Please roll the one of your 3d6 left to see if you can get a 6.
We need a compilation of us winning Rocket Club. Oh my god.
Okay, that's a 2.
Okay, you got 2 more.
Okay. That's a 5. We
Okay,
could take
you got.
this does sound like a thrill. We could take thrill if you want to take thrill.
I mean, it depends on whether you think that it's worth it to try to get an extra, flashback in each of you, possibly with more experience. I don't know.
You want to do? Should we do the last?
I think it's worth a shot.
Okay. Oh.
Cocked?
Yeah. Okay. It is a 5.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
dice have spoken.
Yeah.
For each of you, before we talk about this wild success and the something extra, how that lands and all that, what is thrill for each of you? Is it a question or is it an impulse?
It's a question for me. It's the how can everyone
Right.
tell you're excited? Yeah.
The excitement.
I think the thrill for Max is what sensation do you want? What sensation do you experience that you want to feel again?
Okay. As you watch this contraption you have put together in record time, pulling together everything that you have around you that you thought might be useful, working in precise coordination with each other, entering a collective flow state to make this function, and watch it silently, if effervescently, sail off into the field, leaving burn marks only in certain parts of what is the direct floor in front of your wooden fort as it goes. Seeing that your walkie-talkie was indeed left on, knowing that you have armed your friends with a sticky cannon that could not possibly do any real damage. It's just jelly beans. How do you feel in that moment?
I think Max is sort of constantly in their head. They're thinking about a lot of things, whether that be from the franticness or the panic or things like that. And I think what they're feeling right now is just the feeling of not needing to do that. Because right now, Max doesn't have to think about so many things because they already know. They know that they know that this is working and that they're able to make this because Astrid always pulls through with this sort of stuff. And they know that this is a good idea because if anyone can make this stupid, dangerous contraption work, it's probably Marisol and Kayla. And Max doesn't know a lot of things. They haven't been here very long, but they know that.
I love that. Astrid, your thrill question.
My thrill question is how can everyone tell you're excited? And I think this is a lot of thrill for Astrid in one day. Astrid doesn't do this. Astrid doesn't like seek out the adrenaline. That was Kai's thing. That was always Kai's thing. And so I think the back-to-back of like feeling so hyped, both like confronting adults and then like riding the rocket rig and then building this together with who they consider their close friends. I think it's a lot of emotions for Astrid, a lot of the same emotion back to back to back. And I think Astrid experiences something that they haven't ever consciously experienced, which is that it's not just their eyes that change color this time. In that as they're holding up the rocket like rig that they've just put together and they're like very excitedly like, we did it, we did the thing. Astrid's fingertips all the way down to their forearm, kind of a wave of green fully just over and then vanishes. But it's like the same kind of movement of color that's usually in her eyes is like very clearly on her skin.
Max, what do you do?
we send it off into the night because we know that they will find it.
Max just goes, not my problem. Anyway.
I was like fully not phased. Like,
yeah,
I
we're
believe
not
in
doing
Astrid.
this.
Yeah. All right. As this crotch rocket, thank you, producer, in from the rafters, sails off into the that's right, it's from the back chat. Sails off into the field. Marisol, Kayla, where do we find you?
Okay, so I think with Kayla being really kind of like twitchy, like my conditions are clumsy and overstimulated, and there are people trying to catch us. So I think she's for once like kind of trying to make herself smaller, like she's like watching for the beam of light instead of watching for people, because the people aren't the important part. Being seen is the important part right now. So she's probably like covering her mouth and like kind of trying to crawl out of the way of the beam of light, and trying to keep track of where Marisol and Kai are, and why is Kai being so damn loud? So it's a lot of like that kind of thing.
I think that's super fair. The way I'd like to resolve this is I want you to think about what you'd be rolling with in terms of trait for that. I'm going to come back to you. We're going to do the two rolls back to back. I am going to resolve everything simultaneously as this is all happening at the same time. Marisol.
I think Marisol is in a same mental state as Kayla when it comes to like the panic, but there's even more layers of I have things to do on top of it, because she is coming from a more action-based thought process, since that's what she's leaning in from the beginning, because she is going after Kai, and that's the main reason why she ran into the field. So she then also sees the shadow people in the corner, and I think in her mind, she's not saying this out loud, she's going, shit, fuck, shit, fuck, 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 shit. They're here too. I'm in a nightmare time. This is a horror movie. I don't like this at all. Where the hell is this boy? And she is also freaking out because she doesn't have her rig anymore, and that's like her crutch. And she's like, just feels really, because the backpack kind of almost has a compression like weight to her, so now she's too light on her feet, and so she is very frazzled at this point in time, and she's mostly moving on instinct. So she's hearing Kai going after them. I don't know how this fanny pack arrives to them. But the smell of sugar will probably make her nauseous.
I love that. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is forthcoming. Think about the trait that you're using there. I'm going to come right back to you. I want to give both of you a little bit more about the present moment that you're in. Again, there's rusted out scraps of metal, various sorts, scattered around this field. You are in the Badlands. There are very Badlands-specific forms of life growing out of the ground that you are familiar with, since your hideout is nearby, that you are able to navigate in the dark. There's no reason to think that these adults who are trying to hunt you down right now know this area nearly as well as you do, and their beams of light have occasionally touched you, but they have not seemed to react as though they have realized that. Kai, on the other hand, is deeper in, running further away from where you know safety to be, and is going, oh, no, I can't, no, fully panicking, vocalizing out loud in ways that you all are smart enough to be keeping inside right now, but very much in the same sort of state of mind that you can recognize, in need of being calmed if you are in fact going to try to get a hold of Kai and get away without these adults somehow knowing where you are. The adults themselves are fairly close, but you all, knowing this place better, have been able to make decisions that bought you this moment to figure out what to do next. Marisol, for you in particular, the shadows, you recognize that they move where you want to go, in the sense that they move through the dark. And in the light, they seem to be pushed apart. So you're in a little bit of a rock and a hard place here, where if you go to the light, you go to the guys. If you go to the dark, the shadows might find you.
I have to choose between the pedophiles versus the scary monster people?
Indeed. You have to choose.
Danny, what the fuck? I'm a child.
This is a difficult world that we are in. I want everyone to know that we co-created this world, and there was enthusiastic consent for every element of it. And the alien threat maker gave me all of the fundamental elements of the alien threat, which I love. I would like to plug the alien threat maker. It is a gift. Thank you so much, M. I recommend everybody use it, even for other games if you want to. It's incredible. With that having been said, Marisol, Kayla, actually, let me go to Kayla first, since we went to you first before. What are you rolling with right now?
I am rolling with design. I think the one brain cell left that's not panicking is like, okay, I know what's here. I know that I need to be away from the light. And it's like, all I can think of is like Metal Gear Solid with like the cones of detection of like the guards, where like I'm like trying to move and like stay at the edge so the notice doesn't trigger. But like I'm trying to stay like where I can see them because it's dark. So the light's helping me see them too. So it's just one of those like kind of situations. Gotta stay quiet, gotta keep moving.
Okay,
so like,
how much?
Gotta pay attention.
Yeah. Cool. So how much do you have in that?
I have a single design.
Cool. So here's the bad news: is you're currently at 2 conditions, which are, remind us again.
Clumsy and overstimulated.
Yeah. So the good news is that no matter how many conditions you have, the way that M designed this, you only take 1 reroll away. The bad news is those apply. So you're going to be rolling flat.
All right, big money, no whammies. Wait, I think I'm okay.
The immediate
4,
look
3,
in the
and
opposite
2.
direction wasn't super optimistic. That's all I'm saying.
What is it? 4,
No,
3,
I was
2?
looking at the quick references. It's 4, 3, 2.
4, 3, 2. Okay, you got a mixed success. You look foolish, and you're sad about it. You're right. It could have been worse. So the mixed success. Let's talk about that first for a second. Yeah, I'll tell you my part of where these things land, and then you're going to be able to do your part of where things land. The good thing for you is that your rival is not here. So you do not have like a negative. You don't have a condition that you're taking off of looking foolish. But for the mixed success, your choices are: you're able to succeed, but take a condition. That'll be your third. You're able to succeed, but take a narrative complication that I choose, making like placing the characters in a worse situation. You're able to succeed with a different negative cost if there's something else that you would be able to sacrifice for this, or you can opt to fail and not take any of those consequences. Which of those would you like to do?
I just had an idea with the kind of like succeed at negative cost kind of thing.
Okay.
Marisol and Kai are going that way. I'm watching the men. I think I might want to run a distraction and run like through the light the other way so they see me go.
Okay. So you're going to have a narrative complication off of that. You do succeed. We will resolve that in a moment. You look foolish. You get to tell us how you look foolish when we resolve that. Last question I have for you before I move to Marisol to get that roll going and then resolve everything together. Is sadness an impulse or a question for you?
Sadness is an impulse.
What is the impulse?
Be quiet for a while.
Are you going to embrace it?
Yes.
Okay, you can mark an experience for embracing it. Please be sure to incorporate it in what you describe when we resolve everything. Marisol, what do you think you're rolling with now?
So the one that makes the most sense to me was impact. I don't have anything in impact, but for some reason that's the one that makes sense.
I fully believe it. You feel like you are barreling toward trying to solve this. You have so many things that are weighing on you. You know you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and whether you go into the light or you stay in the dark, you're in danger. Kai's in danger. Kayla's in danger. You don't actually know where Max and Astrid are. So barreling forward physically and mentally and emotionally feels right to me. You can roll a 3d6 flat.
Okay,
Whenever you're
and
ready.
yes, I did go ahead and roll. I got a 4 for my outcome, a 2 for my side effect, and a 3 for my mood. And yeah.
Fantastic. That is perfect. So again, you have a mixed success. As just described, you can succeed taking a condition, which is your second condition, if you choose
Yes,
that.
it
Is that
is.
correct?
Yes.
Or a narrative complication, or a different negative cost, or you could opt to fail. Which of those would you like?
I don't want to fail. Especially if I fail, then Caleb doing the distraction. I don't think would. I don't want that to go to waste. So then I'll take another condition.
Okay. You do draw attention in this moment. You're going to be able to define how you do, not me. Your action is noticed by an outside entity in a negative way. I want to be clear. It can be any outside entity in a negative way. It is entirely up to you which one that is. Your mood was, remind me, which role again?
My mood,
Anger?
that was, yes, anger. And
Anger? Is that an impulse or a question?
the anger is a question, which is what sensation sparks your anger?
Okay. So you can think about that while we talk about the condition that you think you're going to take. What do you think? My gut is saying that a mental or emotional condition is probably where we're at right now, but you are running through the dark right now. You could easily, reasonably take a physical. What are you thinking?
So, to kind of play into the anger mood, the thing that I kind of thought was almost blinded anger, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Where you're so angry you kind of like don't really notice anything around you.
Sure. What about tunnel vision as a way
Yeah.
of articulating that? Cool.
Perfect.
So please put tunnel vision on your sheet as your second condition. Both of you have mixed successes. This all happens at the same time. Marisol, you are running toward Kai and you reach Kai. As you do, you are positioned in such a way where you are able to see that Kayla is not running behind you. Kayla is running in a perpendicular pattern away, drawing attention, running into the light, moving quietly. But you see that these men clearly see Kayla and pivot in her direction. Kayla, how do you look foolish and do this with sadness?
I think as I'm running, I know this place better than they do, but I feel like I misjudge like some scrap or something and I slip on it and kind of land for a second. And there's just a split second where she's on the ground and she just looks at them. And it's almost like if you've ever caught like a rabbit or like something like that and like that still freeze and then she scrambles up to her feet, like no like shock scream or crying or anything. It's just like this stock still like, and then just kind of scrambles up and she keeps running. And it's just like there's a moment where like she visibly was like, they got me, they didn't get me. And like that was like the moment of like, oh, this is it.
As you do that, simultaneously, Marisol, you succeed in reaching Kai. Kai looks at you and goes to speak. You do have a moment before Kai says anything out loud. How do you draw attention with anger and answer your anger question?
How do I draw attention?
You need to draw attention in general. That is for you to decide. You get to decide how your action is noticed by an outside entity in a negative way.
Okay.
And then you rolled with anger. So if you could express that anger to us and answer the anger question in your answer.
Okay, so I think right before Kai starts to speak, she'll cover his mouth and say, "If you say one thing to have them figure us out, I will personally break your ankles." And then she looks back and sees that Kayla followed them, which she did not notice before, and now sees that Kayla is walking towards the light. She then herself gets so angry at this discovery that she yells out, "What are you doing?"
I love that. As she yells out, "What are you doing?" These folks who have their attention trained on Kayla whip their lights over away from you, Kayla, and toward Marisol and Kai. Just at that moment, a fiery ball hits the area right next to where you and Kai are, Marisol. And you hear the men yell out, "No, it started already. It wasn't supposed to start yet." And they start moving toward the fiery ball that has hit now at your feet, which you recognize when it's landed and it stops, shedding more fire, essentially. Is that a fanny pack? Does it smell like jelly beans? And as they are running towards you and the smell of jelly beans with this smoldering pack your friend sent you at the floor, Kai completely confused, Kayla now in darkness, feeling something tug at her shoulder. We go to our break, everybody. We are going to be back in about 10 minutes. Go get a drink, go to the bathroom, watch our fantastic promos for all the wonderful shows that everybody involved in this show and everybody involved in this channel are a part of. And we'll see you real soon. Bye, y'all. never mind. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. That was me still being muted because that's what I do during the break. Hi, everyone, and welcome for the first time if you're just joining us now after the break. I am Danny Mendoza, he, him, Danny R. Mendoza, all over the internet, and I'm your guide today for Radical Resonance, our live stream game here at Streaming Rainbow of Rocket Club. As part of Rocket Club, a multi-stage anthology. Rocket Club is an amazing game by M. Hubbard. Say hi, M. Hubbard. Everybody in there. Hi, M. Hubbard.
Hi, M. Hubbard.
M is in the chat right now. M is a friend of the channel. M is a brilliant game designer, a wonderful artist, and a good friend. And M has created an amazing game, 172-page PDF, that is available for free right now because Rocket Club, being put out by Evil Hat, is in open playtesting through the end of May 2026. So if you're watching this live or just watching it sometime before the end of May 2026, you can go to evilhat.com/rocket-club and you can sign up to be a playtester for this game. If you are willing to give a little bit of insights on your thoughts on the game based on what you're watching tonight, anything that you watch on this or any of our other shows in Rocket Club Multi-Stage Anthology, anything that you read, or if you pick up the game and you decide to play it, we would love that feedback. The game's already in amazing shape. It's only going to make it better to hear from you. So please do that. If you're not already doing this, again, the Discord here for us over at Streaming Rainbow, and you'll be able to hang out with them because them is there, and you can talk to us and them about the game. With all that having been said, we're going to dive right back into the last moment that we saw from the perspective in this moment of Maxime and Astrid watching your incredibly brilliantly designed contraption that you pulled together from everything that you had around you, entering a flow state collectively to become one as you made this crotch rocket shoot off, just catching a little bit of fire on the way out across this field over toward your friends. You're able to see that one of your friends books it not in the direction that you sent it in, but in a perpendicular direction through the light, catching the attention of these conspiracy theorist adults who are chasing them down. Following the light toward Kayla, you see that Kayla stumbles, stops, looks at them, and then takes off, keeps going. But just as she takes off and keeps going, you hear out of the very brief quiet that came from what we know was Marisol finally reaching Kai and getting Kai to just shut up for a second. Marisol called out quite loudly and pulled over the attention. So you follow the beams of light as they fall upon Marisol and Kai at the same time that your crotch rocket makes a fiery descent to the ground next to Marisol. Before we go to our friends in the field, how do the two of you feel about all of this?
Yeah, I think as like the excitement like dies.
May I use a move?
Sure. What do you got?
Okay. I have a move called Enigma, where it's as someone who's often misunderstood, you feel a kinship with other mysterious things. Once per session, if you spent time observing an alien creature, you can ask the guide one question about its emotions or motivations. They would tell you what you've noticed that no one else could. Because I've been watching these things from the balcony. Do the shadows... Sorry, hang on. I got a sentence structure here.
Go for it. I like it.
Do the shadows appear to be moving with blind hostility or intention? Like do they feel like in their like yoinking of people and movements? Does it feel like an intelligent thing?
Yes. And it feels like an intelligent thing that is following its instincts. So it is making decisions. It is
Okay,
making decisions
okay.
based on what is available in front of them.
Okay,
Is
so
your
it's not
best
just
pattern recognition.
yeah. So it's I guess the main point I'm trying to get around to is it like a predatory hostility of like seeking
Yes.
anybody is target?
I don't know if anybody's a target,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say that what you see in terms of pattern of behavior is they do move like a predator,
Mm-hmm.
and they are moving in the dark. So you're able to catch some differentiations in light that allow you to see essentially what looks like waves of darkness moving through darkness, right? It's not the easiest to follow, but you are able to differentiate some since you know what you're looking for. They move pretty fast. They tend to go across surfaces, right? So even though they're able to peel off of things, it seems that most of their movement is surface based in some fashion, other than when the other one shot up into the sky. And in this moment, you see that they were on their way either to the guys or to Marisol and Kai. And then when the light moves over to Marisol and Kai, you see that they make a hard turn almost without any perceptible hesitation toward Kayla.
Cool. I'm just gonna file that info away because I don't know what to do with that. We're just gonna bookmark that for later. Of Shadow Bad. Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Shadow Bad. Great.
As Astrid looks for information, Max is going to look for a rock and chuck it as hard as they can.
Okay, so I will say for free you can grab an item. You're in the fort, right? So you're gonna get down and throw it. It's a different thing than if you're up there in the fort grabbing something. Are you gonna just grab something that's in the fort? Or you're gonna go down and try to get closer, grab something. What do you want to do?
I think just like anything that is about the size and weight of a rock.
Okay. Would you like to
The other
pick
walkie
anything?
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, well, funny you should say, Fish. I will give you will throw whatever is closest for free, and we see what happens. If you want to choose what you throw, I'm gonna need you to roll to find something and then roll for the throw.
I think it's just whatever
Cool.
Max grabs first.
I love that. Is this impact? Is this propulsion? Are you going to argue for something else? What do you think's going on here?
I think this is impact. I think Max has burned through the brain cells making the rig, and is now just all right. What's the quickest thing I can do now? They need another second to get this going.
We've got the two very drastically different reactions here of just like quiet and absorbing, and then just
What? Yeeting something across a field. I want to be clear, they're not close, right?
No.
You are in a field of your own, tucked away, hidden. There's a street, and then there's the other field that they're in. Yeah. So it's far. We're gonna see how ready Max is to be recruited, I guess, for college. What do you have an impact here?
2.
Max the secret jock.
Do you have, remind me, you have frantic right now, right?
Yeah.
That is going to work against you. I'm sorry. So you do have one reroll on this. Please roll me 3d6.
That's a 3, a 2, and a 4.
Okay, that is a failure. You draw attention, and you do this with hope. I will remind you, if you draw attention, you are drawing attention to your hideout. You only have one. You only have one reroll. Would you like to reroll the failure or the draw attention?
I'd like to pull out the second bullshit I've tucked away in my sleeve, and I'm gonna use my rocket move on a die.
Okay. You have to describe how you're using your rocket rig to do this, but I will fully buy that. What does it let you do?
an expert hand at the brake and wheel. You can stop and pivot at an instant. Once per session, when you fail an action, you may immediately shift to a different action.
Okay,
before
I
narrating
buy
any
it
results of the first roll.
100%. That's
Yeah, before
I
narrating
buy
any
it
results of the first
100%. That makes sense. Go ahead. Sorry.
roll. Okay. Before narrating any results of the first roll, immediately describe how you're changing direction, then make a new action roll.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Go ahead and do that now.
Okay. Dude.
Uh-oh.
So
Oh no.
Max is gonna pivot, and that is a 6, a 5, and a 1. So it is a
Oh
success.
my
I learned
God.
something new, and God,
I did
am
not-
I afraid?
I did not see that coming. I thought that reaction was 100%. You rolled like a misfire in a crisis. That's amazing. A 6, a 5, and a 1. Would you like to re-roll that fear? You do have one re-roll.
Honestly, no, I don't think so. I think Max is actually afraid.
Is fear an impulse or a question for Max?
It is an impulse, and it says, "Go somewhere you feel safe." I'm here. I'm in the. This is
Okay.
where I'm safe.
Okay. Mark an experience for that. I'll count that as you embracing your fear. Just sort of like, let's say you maybe like move a little further back in to the
bring it
fort
to the
after chucking this thing. Okay. How does Max use their rocket rig to chuck what I will remind you is whatever item I want as a success across this field, the street, and into the other field near Marisol or Kayla? I will say you get to decide who it lands near, or if it hits one of the dudes in the head, you get to pick that because this deserves that. Full success, and you'll get to learn something. But before you do, tell me how that happens.
Okay. I think Max grabs the first thing they see, chuck it in their head as they're about to chuck it. They're thinking to themselves, "That's really far," and that hesitates for just a split second. They hit the wall of the balcony that they're on. It recoils back and gets stuck in the rocket of their bike. They go to kick it to unlodge it, and that the rocket is what propels it forward and actually gets it across the street.
I still love the idea that this is the birth of Maxime Dizon, soccer player, right? Soccer player extraordinaire. You see this careen through the darkness. It being so dark, you're not even entirely sure what it was that landed. Were you aiming at Marisol, Kayla, or the dudes?
I think the dudes. I think Max was like, yeet.
Okay. You get to learn something off of this. Go ahead.
I'm gonna need to like draw this or something of just like Astrid staring pensively out into the distance, quiet panic setting in, and then just
with Marisol and Kayla out in the distance in facing these two different kinds of predators. You get to learn something, but I think we're going to save the learn something until I describe the tail end of this success.
Yeah.
Where with everything that just happened, I don't have it in me to have decided, which was fully on the table, that what you kicked over there was in fact the other walkie-talkie. So instead of that, I want you to know that was very on the table. Instead of that, you kicked what was right next to the walkie-talkie. And the reason it traveled so far is because you all were experimenting with different kinds of ammunition that could go into rocket-powered things that you would shoot out. And one of those sets of things were different kinds of athletic balls. So you did literally kick a soccer ball across this field, the street, the other field, and fully brained a dude with the soccer ball. The guy is the one who was closer to you, Kayla, and he gets it right in the back of the head with the force. And it was a very inflated soccer ball, right? So like with the force from your rocket powered kick, this distance, and then just gravity on the way down there, you just right there. And this dude slams into the ground and he doesn't move. He is down. The
Here's
other
the
guy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, here's the thing. Every group of nerds has a secret jock, and we just found ours.
Apparently. The new kid. Yeah. What else have you been hiding from your life before being here in our town? As that guy goes down, boom, Kayla, you see him go down. It's a little quick and dark for you to see what takes him down. He goes down hard in front of you. Marisol, you and Kai also see that guy go down. The flashlight skitters to a stop on the ground a little ways away between you and him, Kayla, but closer to him than you are right now, which means closer to the other guy. It is not aimed towards you. It is aimed out. The other guy whose attention was just on you, Marisol, turns his attention and his flashlight away from you, plunging you and Kai back into darkness. Now the light beam is hitting you, Kayla, because you are in a direct line between him and this guy. So between you and the guy who is up and pointing the flashlight at you, he sees the body of his friend unmoving on the ground, a soccer ball, and the other flashlight that is on the ground between you and the body. Marisol, you also have the flaming crotch rocket simmering down after its descent next to you. Before we see what Kayla does, we're going to resolve these again simultaneously. We're in bullet time right now. What do you do, Marisol?
That's a great question. So we have Kai here who shut up, and then Marisol just shouted, and now Kayla's back in trouble. And then there was a soccer ball that happened, and she's so confused. But also there's tunnel vision, and I think the first thing she does is just say, "Fuck it," and grabs the fanny pack and adjusts it to fit both of their waists, so it's like extra long, and they're just kind of like seat belted together with the fanny pack, so that adds an extra layer of this is the most uncool thing possible. And I think it's also where she has probably Kai spooning her in the back, because she's not going to be the little spoon. Well, no, she's not going to be the big spoon in this situation. She needs to have a visual. And so the rocket is kind of coming out of Kai's butt. And she just says, okay, no matter what you do, we have the option to get to where we need to go. So just be quiet, and hopefully Kayla's going to be okay. And I know this is the only option I have right now. And then she just looks at the direction of where the hideout is, tries to do a U-turn to be as far away from these conspiracy theorists as possible while she's doing that, and just lights it.
Okay, I'm going to say that this rocket rig has 3 breakdown boxes. So you'll have the ability to potentially make use of those if you need to. Okay. We are so clearly going to roll about this, but and I'm going to need you to tell me with what trait. But before we do, I have to note that the entire time this explanation was happening and all these movements were happening, Kai is so semi-dissociated that just movable very easily. So you're able to do all the physical stuff really easily. Kai keeps trying to talk, and as you're talking at Kai here, just keeps like shutting up. At the end of it, when you're ready to take off, just looks at you and says, "Why does it smell like jelly beans?"
they gave us a snack, I guess, and
He starts rifling through it, looking for the snack, and finds the cannon, not knowing what it is.
oh god,
Now you get to roll.
don't touch anything. The path
Oh,
that
dear.
I'm making in my brain is like an S pattern, where it's loop around, get to Kayla, loop around, get to the fort, and so I'm coming in sideways. Anyway, so my roll is 3, 3, 4.
Okay, that is a failure. You look foolish. Luckily, you are not in front of a crush or rival of yours, and that is with hope. I'm sorry, we were doing this with propulsion or impact, remind me.
Propulsion makes the most
Propulsion.
sense.
How much do you have in propulsion?
I actually have a +2.
And what are your conditions?
I have 2, which are shaken and tunnel vision.
So I'm going to say tunnel vision wouldn't work against you here, but shaken would. So either way, it would have ended up, even if both did, just taking one away. So you have one reroll on this.
Okay.
That was a 4, 3, and a 2. So mixed success. Sorry, was it a 4, 3, and a 2? Did I do that right?
It's 3, 3, and 4.
3, 3, and 4. Sorry. Failure. You look foolish, and hope. Now you could chase down a triple and try to re-roll that hope if you want, and get yourself a little XP coming off of a flashback here, or you could try to re-roll that failure and see if you get somewhere better. It is incumbent upon me to say, not only is it possible you could simply fail again with a 2 or a 3, you could get a misfire.
Yeah.
But it's a 1 in 6 chance. So I mean,
Don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud. Why are you saying that out loud?
Grace will hear you.
The player in me wants to try to go for the extra XP. The Marisol in me wants to try to reroll this failure. And I think right now the Marisol in me is winning out. So we'll go ahead and reroll that 3 to try to get. And that's a 2.
Okay, so that's not a misfire. You don't
No.
take a condition because also you look foolish not in front of a crush. But you fail and look foolish with hope right now. So I need to ask you, is hope an impulse or a question?
It's actually a question. So hope is what memory inspires you?
I think we got to start there. As you're trying to do this incredibly complex maneuver with somebody who is simply not prepared to or in a place to assist you with that in any meaningful way, and is probably going to hinder you from actually getting done what you're trying to do. What are you thinking about that gives you hope?
That's a great question, seeing that the situation is so dire. So the thing that gives me hope. Ooh. Probably maybe the smell of jelly beans, because it reminds her of the code word, and hence the fort, so it feels like a manifestation thing. So the memory that inspires me is probably when we first came up with the code word jelly beans.
Copy that. Thinking about the code word jelly beans and the safety that your friends give you, you careen forward out of control with your rocket-powered fanny pack, burning the floor behind you as you are staying too close to the ground, and that is continuing the burn farther than it would normally go if you had a bit more altitude, weighed down by the writhing Kai, who refuses to stop moving behind you and is holding on to this cannon that he does not know is a cannon in his hand, full of what we above table know is molten jelly beans, ready to burn people with incredibly hot sugar. Before we see what happens with that cannon, you careen out onto the street toward the same car you sent your jetpack toward, and you hit it like a bullseye. You know, in a movie when an arrow shoots a bullseye and then another arrow shoots the center of that arrow, that's you into your old rocket rig. And you just, bam, right into that. You're okay physically, a little bit embarrassed and stunned perhaps, but you're fine. You do have the attention of the adult who was in there, who's in the field, who is now pointing the beam out toward you. But Kayla, you see, is still looking toward you, a little bit back and forth. Before we go back to you, Marisol, to resolve what happens next there, Kayla, what would you like to do? As a reminder, you have between you and this person, while you are now in the semi-darkness, a flashlight on the floor and a body that is not moving. And a soccer ball.
So I had two ideas. One is kind of dumb and one is very dumb. The kind of dumb idea is trying to go for the flashlight to shine it in the dude's face because he's probably starting to acclimate to the level of darkness there is. So that's not the smartest idea. And then the dumber idea is people buckle when you hit them in the knee.
I mean, fair and valid. I cannot in good conscience as a guide do anything but support where your heart wants to take you. If you'd like to go with the dumber idea, I fully support. If you'd like to go with the semi-dumb idea, I fully support. What in this moment is Kayla's truth? Where does Kayla want to go with this next action?
I think in that very, like, if I just do this, then I can do this sort of way that like a 12-year-old clearly thinks. If I can just get this dude off my friend, then we can all run.
Okay. I like that. So you're going to go for the knee. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Impact. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Cool. You have 2 in that?
I have 1 in that.
1 in that. What are your conditions again?
Clumsy and overstimulated.
You know what time it is. It is flat roll time, baby. Let's go. 3d6, please.
Okay. A 6, a 2, and a 1.
A 6, a 2, and a 1. So that is a success, but you draw attention with fear. Is fear an impulse or a question for you?
Fear is a question.
What is the question?
What other feelings complicate your fear?
You're going after this adult who, as you move toward them to go after their knee, is pulling something out of their pocket that you cannot see. It does not seem that this is good news for you. How is it more complicated than fear?
I think it's starting to hit that weird point of just like this indignant anger. This is our place. You're not supposed to be here. You've been following us around and some other kid that you don't even know. You're weird. This is gross. I hate everything about this. You're stupid and I hate you.
Super fair. Now, you did succeed. So you are able to do exactly what you set out to do to this adult. I leave it to you to describe that.
I think like with like the soccer ball and like the different athletic balls they've had around it, like they've like kicked the ball around and stuff like that. So like I feel like referencing Max the Secret Jock, he was explaining how like to kick a soccer ball properly. And just like with this shout, she runs up and just aims to kick at the back of his knee just to try and just like kick through. Like you don't stop there, you kick through.
As you kick through and this adult goes, ah! And does indeed fall to their knees on the ground. You see Kai flying past. And Marisol, you wouldn't have picked this up, but they are watching you, Kayla. And it's that meme from the Umbrella Academy where one person is going this way and the other is going that way. And Kai watches you just fully hobble this adult, and they call out to you, Marisol, you couldn't hear this as you went. Remind me not to make you mad. As a rocket on Marisol's back, holding onto Marisol, as you see it, like a koala on a bamboo tree. And as that happens, I'm going to say, before you resolve draw attention, Neon, because that is up to you to define. I will say that as a part of this success, if you want, you can grab the flashlight.
Yes.
Okay. You have the flashlight in hand. You have hobbled this person. They have called out loud. You see your friend careening into the street with your other friend's ex-friend enemy strapped like a koala on their back. And as you see this person go down, pretty much simultaneously, you see Marisol and Kai slam into this car. You hear a sound. This is the car that was exploded a bit. Unclear whether or not it still works. You hear a sound from inside the car. Max and Astrid, you watch all of this play out. And Astrid, you in particular, see shadows coming up behind Kayla that Kayla can't see. Kayla, with the information you have, we'll be able to decide what you do next. Neon, with the information that you have, how does this action draw attention, causing Kayla to be noticed by an outside entity in a negative way?
I think Kayla is looking. By her count, there should be another dude because they don't know that guy got snatched in the air.
Right.
So I think what you see is the flashlight beam turning back and forth in like this really quick panicked way, like from the dude that's kind of like recovering from being kicked in the knee to like back in the other direction where she thinks the guy is, back to him and then back. So it's like this quick, like, where it's just like, I need to figure out which of these adults is going to be a problem like right now.
Flashing lights, Astrid and Max, as your friend is clearly pulled between two spaces, unsure of what to do next. And you see another light coming up in the distance from the direction that the two of you fled. No, 2 lights. No, 4 lights. Headlights. Marisol, you don't see those yet. You don't see much right now. A little dizzy from the impact. Kai is tangled in you. Their limbs are awkward and in the wrong place. And in their hand is this cannon that has not yet gone off, that neither of you knows the contents of. Marisol,
Before you traumatize us.
Yes.
Really quick, just before you traumatize us, I have a funny question I would like to ask.
Go for it.
Which is,
What's up?
Kai is my rival, and I am watching him struggle in this way.
Yes.
Does he get any conditions from this?
Yes. Okay, so I will say, above table, that mechanic doesn't exist yet in the playtest. And take notes. At the level of what we're doing here, absolutely. What I'm gonna, and you know what? He's your rival, and Marisol, he's strapped to your back. So I will let the two of you collaboratively decide the condition that affects Kai. What do you think is happening, physical, mental, or emotional, to Kai right now that could potentially impede actions?
My kind of thought about Kai was just that, like, he very much thinks we're losers, or at least they thought we were losers prior to us trying to save their life. So I think it's got to be some combination of like confused and inept right now.
Marisol, I think that I buy that. Marisol, how does that feel to you? That world, what in there? Bring us home to the condition.
I feel like if Kai is so invested in us being losers and him being the cool guy. The fact that he's koala backing on the person that he thought was the loser and is also the person that seems to be helping him makes him feel now like I am the worm. And
So we could go with something like inadequate or small. What do we think?
yes.
I like inadequate. I like
inadequate.
inadequate. That's a
Inadequate.
good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Inadequate. I'm sorry. I gotta bring back the back chat. Neon, all credit to you. Kai, am I the super loser? Absolutely. That is where the thought is. Inadequate. So I will note that Kai is inadequate. We'll see what happens with that. You hear through the ringing in your ears from the impact here as you're steadying yourself, Muddy Sword, which is hard to do because Kai is still strapped to you. And Kai is not participating in the attempt to try to rectify your situation. Kai is just panicking and feeling inadequate. You do hear more clearly the sound from inside of the car that you just knocked into. You can't make out what they're saying, but it sounds like a voice. What'd you like to do?
So you're telling me the car that I just exploded happened to have people inside of it?
I'm telling you, you're hearing a voice from in there.
This is what she's thinking. Oh
Yeah.
no. I might have murdered somebody, but not all the way. And
Are we going in an old Yeller direction? Is that what's about to happen? Is it
she's very concerned. And I think because of the tunnel vision, her first thought is, I need to open the door somehow to make sure if I need to help this other person. There's a lot happening.
So I normally would not make you roll to open a door. You have canonically crashed into the side of this vehicle twice. I think we
Yes.
got to see how easy this door is to open. Are you doing this with propulsion or impact?
We'll go with propulsion.
Cool. If propulsion, remind you have 2?
I have +2, but I do have
2.
2 conditions. So,
Yes. Yeah, I think we're going to end up at a 1 there. So please roll me 3d6 + 1 to open door.
Okay. Let's see what I got here. I got a 1, a 4, and a 2.
So you'd like to try to re-roll that misfire?
That yeah. Okay, that is now a 2 instead of a 1.
Okay, so you failed to open the door, but you look cool doing it. And what was the mood again?
The mood is a 2, so that is
Sadness.
Okay. What?
Is that a question impulse?
Yeah, that is an impulse. If the mood is tied to my secret, what happens?
So your secret mood, it functions as a normal mood. It's just you were
Okay.
able to put it in place of the other thing. But it is, I guess, share with us what you want about your secret mood, and then let me know if you plan to embrace it or not.
Okay, so the secret is. Is this what I share? I'm trying to. I don't.
You don't have to share the secret, just the mood itself, and not like why it's connected to your secret.
Oh, okay.
But like,
Gotcha.
what's the impulse that you have to embrace?
So the impulse to embrace is have to run away to avoid being seen crying. Which I don't know how to do that in a cool way.
But you could try. I mean, a component of this can be the cool thing. A component of it can be the running away crying thing. And also you failed to open the door. So I need to resolve that for you. If you want, I can resolve that for you first, and then that can ground you in your decisions for the other stuff, how you look cool and how you potentially embrace your impulse. You don't have to embrace it. It's just if you don't embrace it, you don't mark experience.
Yeah.
So you struggle to open the door because between the 2 rocket impacts that have happened to this door within a very short window of time, it's now crunched up. So it doesn't want to open up, but as you struggle to open it up, you're actually able to see up and over through the shattered glass into the back. and what you see there is a walkie-talkie.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
And the walkie-talkie is calling out, "Hey, it sounds like something's going on. We're coming in your direction. Get back to me if you're okay. If you're not okay, we're going to bring more people."
Okay. In a very cool way, she's going to modulate her voice to sound older, and she'll say, "Yeah, we're fine."
What I need to know, because you're gonna have to roll for how that goes.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Just roll for how that goes. What are you using there for this trait? Like, what's the trait for this?
I would go with Grace on this. This one.
It's finesse, just smooth
Yeah.
as butter.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got in Grace?
I have a +1.
Okay. I'm going to say that not only do your conditions bring you to a flat there,
Yeah.
but the condition we established Kai has of feeling inadequate and the condition that Kai was already in would have hindered you anyway. With Kai squeezing you tighter, koala bear that they are in this moment, and in your ear uncomfortably close saying, "What are you doing?" Please roll me 3d6.
Okay. All right, so I got a 4, a 1, and a 1.
A 4, a 1, and a 1. So that is that is a mixed success. That is a crisis, and that is fear. Congratulations, Green, for our first crisis of the game. I am grateful to you for allowing me to have this gift on this day, not even my birthday. The greatest gift of it is that you get to decide the crisis. It's your choice. I, however, get to decide some parts, perhaps, of the mixed success. Before all that, this is with fear. You still have to deal with your sadness from before, but we'll let these things compound a little bit. Fear is a question or an impulse?
It's an impulse, and it's freeze in terror.
Are you going to embrace that?
I don't want to.
So you say no to that, which actually still lets you potentially embrace the prior one, because if you're moving, you can run away crying. Mixed success, would you like to fail and take no complications? Succeed and take a condition? Succeed and take a narrative complication of my choosing? Or succeed with another negative cost that you're paying?
Either way, it's gonna turn out bad, isn't it? So I'm gonna go. I only need one more condition before I crash.
You're at 2 now, right? So when you go to 3, you're fine. It's the 4th that'll cause you to crash.
4th. So I guess I'll do another condition because I'm already really messed up here.
What do you think your condition is?
Let's see, shaken, tunnel vision. Let's go ahead and do probably a physical one because she did just crash into a car twice.
Okay.
What would happen? She probably is dizzy, right? We'll go with maybe off balance.
I'll go with dizzy. Doesn't have to be like fully concussed, but definitely hard to see straight right now.
Yeah.
Dizzy works. You succeed. But that leads to a crisis. So they believe you. That's the definition of this. You succeeded. And they say, "All right, we won't send anybody else. You have a couple of caravans on their way now. They'll be there in a few minutes. Make sure everyone on the list is there." Would you like to describe how the situation is now significantly worse for you and your friends?
first thing I thought of, because for some reason 10 candles is on my mind, is that all the flashlights run out of battery.
That is entirely possible. Speak it into existence and it's real. Final answer?
Should it be that bad? Would you guys?
It is a crisis. It does need to be. I will say, to take the heat on my side as the guide and give some to M, the amazing designer of this beautiful system that allows you to stab at yourself in this moment. It does specifically say significantly worse for you and your friends. So the conditionals here are significantly worse, has to impact you and your friends.
Would you be open to a suggestion?
Yes,
from
please give me suggestions.
the other half of the party that is currently
please.
in the treehouse.
Please.
If we're going for significantly worse, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All the flashlights go out. The only lights are on are the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Final answer? We good?
That's bad for all of us.
Yeah. So all of the lights go out. What you see, except for the fort, what you see is both of the flashlights, the lights die. The car had still had its headlights on. Those go out. From the fort, you all see that the caravan coming toward your friends, their headlights go out as well, as they are driving, not slowly, in the direction of your friends and are not terribly far at this point. And the generator, the backup generator that you all have set up in your fort for moments like this, kicks in so that while there is a flicker where the power at the fort went out, now everything in the fort turns on. It isn't just that the lights come on.
I'm really regretting fixing that this morning.
It's getting increasingly harder to keep this fort under wraps.
Alongside the things that you have in the fort are a CB radio that allows you to pick up on a transmission, and you hear a voice coming over the transmission saying, "Come in, come in, come in, we're here to help." Now what Marisol knows that I don't believe the rest of you know is that when Marisol was in, correct me if I'm wrong, and you do know this, when Marisol was in the gas station earlier, Marisol got a message that said that they're on the frequencies, don't believe the voice.
Yes.
So again, I believe you know that. I don't know that everybody else knows that yet. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't think we would have had a chance to exchange that info because of the immediacy of the pedophiles.
Yeah, I haven't told anybody.
That's what I'm thinking. There's no way that there was any. Beautiful. I just want to make sure I'm not being unfair. So you hear somebody who sounds very, very friendly, very friendly over the CB radio saying that, come in, I'm here to help. I can get your friends out of there. Before you have a chance to do anything about that, Marisol and Kayla, you both see the treehouse light up like a Christmas tree, and the generator hum is quite loud. It is entirely visible from the street. Kai looks up and over and says, "Wait a minute, what is that? Like a treehouse or something?" Very loud. Kayla.
I'm going to break your ankles.
Just actually reacts like that, falls down a little bit, makes it harder for you to stay standing. You can stay standing. I'm not gonna make you roll for that, but there's a stumble to that. Kayla, the flashlight that was just in your hand goes out. You're plunged into darkness. you see in the periphery, like in your peripheral vision, the treehouse light up. The fort is fully visible. You hear behind you, because you're a little closer to where they're coming from than Marisol is, the sound of engines. But if you look in that direction, you can't make out anything. You don't see cars coming, but you hear the sound of that. In front of you, if you look in the direction you were facing when you picked up the flashlight, you see a rustling in the plants, but you don't see what's making them rustle. And as you stand there for that moment, you see something look like it rustles the clothes of the body next to you. And then the body stands up, but it doesn't stand up the way you would expect. It just goes straight up like this and turns to have the back of it face you. And the back of it is a deep black void that you see, because you're close enough and your eyes have started to adjust, ripples across its surface. What would you like to do?
Scream. Like I think like genuinely after all of that, like I feel like there was like that panic of like the like Luigi's Mansion, like come on, come on, trying to get the flashlight, come on.
Yeah.
And then the look in the turn, and then you see the void, and there's like this like moment of like it's not quite hypnosis, but like if she were a little older and a little more talk to herself, it would definitely, what the fuck am I looking at? Like kind of energy, and then just
you scream, and as you scream, it echoes across the Badlands. And at this point, Marisol, you are able to tell that 2 more pickup trucks with 12 more men in them pull up, and you see them come out. Those 12 men come out holding weapons, fully holding weapons right now. And they are flooding out onto the street. They're cursing. They're calling out, why isn't this working? You realize they have flashlights that refuse to turn on. Their cars functioned on the way up. They were able to drive up, but the lights went out.
Okay.
The person you hobbled before is now hobbling in the direction of Kayla and this other figure that you see standing there. From where you're standing, it would be easy to assume that the person who face planted before just got up, right? Dizzy as you are, you wouldn't have seen the unnatural way that they got up. But I will say that Astrid and Max would have, at a distance, fully had visibility on how that went down. Also, on these 12 men who are armed coming out, and another hobbled one having pulled an armament out of their pocket, hobbling forward in the direction of Kayla and kind of generally Marisol and Kai. Although until Kai makes a sound, won't pay a ton of attention in that direction. You hear this scream. The attention all goes in that moment to Kayla. Kayla, I'm going to give you a chance here to make an action. And the action that you make is going to be extremely important for what happens next.
Mhm.
Anything you can convince me makes sense for Kayla to do now, I will let you do. You tell me which trait you want to roll with, I will let you do that as long as it makes sense. What do you do right now in the very, very short window of time you have to act before something is done to you?
I think Kayla turns to where she last saw Marisol. And I think this is the first time she leans in on what I'm going to call the whisper trick.
Okay.
in our discussion of character creation, Kayla discovered she had a power and was very scared of using it. She can talk to people at distance. And she will look to where she last saw Marisol and say, run as fast as you can.
That goes off without a hitch, and you do not need to roll for that. Marisol, do you listen?
I mean, I think she would, given everything that's happening right now, and it sounds like Kayla.
She also doesn't exactly know where Kayla is right now because she's so dizzy.
Yeah.
She can't see clearly. It wouldn't make a lot of sense that Kayla would be so far away from her, whispering this to her. It would be easy for her to think that Kayla might be nearby.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that she can't even tell how far away Kayla is, so this doesn't seem too weird for her. And at this point, she can't see anything. She feels kind of helpless. Oh, gosh. Would she... Actually, don't know if she would leave her behind. I don't... Can I roll for it?
You 100% can roll for it.
Okay.
If this is about an inner struggle that you're rolling for, I would recommend whichever of those feels right to you for the nature of your inner struggle. Design would be analytical, I would argue. Propulsion would be instinctual. If you were to do this with impact, you would just be trying to get there as quickly as you can, right? Like just trying to push through the uncertainty. And if you did this with grace, I would say that you would be trying to lead with empathy in this moment.
Okay. So I'll go ahead, and the one that makes the most sense to me right now, given the amount of conditions that she has, and also Kai on her back, is impact.
Okay.
So it's going to be a flat roll, no matter what I do.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So, I hate these dice. I hate them profusely, profoundly. I'm so sorry
It's okay.
that I even asked to roll for this. I will take the L. I feel incredibly bad. I got a 1, a 4, and a 3.
Okay, you have 3 conditions.
Yeah.
You misfire, but you look cool doing it, and it's with anger. So, what is anger? An impulse or a question?
It's a question.
What's the question?
The question is, what sensation sparked your anger? So I think without her rocket rig, just having the fanny pack, Kai on her back, I think she wants to stay. And that's where the one, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. She wants to stay, but she is, if I may make a suggestion for the condition you need to take, even though it is finally in the end up to you. There is something that kicks in her that says, no, it has to be that Kayla's okay, because Kayla is just whispering to me. If we're going to run, we got to run together. I can't hold Kayla back right now. Whatever the condition is can be something in the world of, well, it can be whatever you want it to be. I would recommend it be somewhere in the world of either terrified or guilty.
Yeah.
You fail spectacularly by booking it. You actually get the rocket rig to work again right now. And you take off on the rocket rig while setting the ground on fire, drawing a lot of visual attention to yourself, directly toward the highly lit up fort, fully able to draw the attention of everyone on the street regarding your exact trajectory. to the fort. You realize halfway there that Kayla was not next to you. And when you land safely at the fort with Kai strapped to your back, you know you left Kayla behind. You can let me know in a moment which condition you take that causes you to crash, which will leave you unable to take any actions. It can be physical, mental, emotional, a mix of both. You could be conscious or unconscious. Maybe you're just not in any state to do anything. Maybe you're hard to connect with. Maybe you're just so sad or mad that you can't coherently do anything until you clear a condition. To be clear, you have to clear conditions one at a time, and you only have rest and care available to you because you cannot roll, so you cannot engage in a catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
On your way there, I have not finished describing the bad things that happen, because Chekhov's cannon goes off on your flight, and the jelly beans, the molten jelly beans, shoot off downward at Kai themselves, and Kai is now badly burned and in need of care. So for those playing the home game, if Kai were a player character, would now have two conditions: inadequate and badly burned. And I'm going to go ahead and say, since we're home ruling this, that to try to get Kai better, we're going to need rest and care for each of those. But that's not what we're going to do right now. We are going
Max,
to go.
If this wasn't real life, this would be an absolutely awesome TV show.
You say that just after Marisol and Kai crash, with Kai looking up at you from down at your feet, cradling the burns. Marisol, do you know which condition you took?
I think she's devastated right now.
Devastated sounds great.
Yeah.
As she is devastated, describe to us what it looks like as she crashes out.
Okay, so I think she crashes for the third time, and going straight into what is right in front of the fort, noticing Kayla's not right there, already dizzy, hearing the screams of Kai. She just unclips her rig that was there and throws it to the ground, and just, I think, falls to her knees and just grabs the hair on the top of their head and starts pulling, and just can't even make a sound as every muscle in her body tenses. And she starts to get so frustrated with herself that she can't do anything right, and she keeps messing everything up, and she seems to be blaming herself the entire time, and she just is frozen in place, curled up on the floor, unable to do anything.
Through the fog of that, she is able to hear one thing. The CB radio saying, come in, I can help. Hello, is anybody there? We go back. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I think...
We go back to Kayla. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Hearing the radio, I think she's going to, take it and smash it.
That is an action, though, so she might want to do that. But she won't be able to.
But she can't, yeah.
She's trapped in her own emotions as we go back to Kayla. And I have to ask, with everything that's happening inside of the fort right now, Max, Astrid, do you think that you're able to pay any attention to what's going on outside, or is your full focus on Marisol and Kai in this moment?
You can go first. Fish.
Sorry, I was thinking very hard. I think up till right now, Aster's just been like stunned absorption of all of the shenanigans. But I think them crashing like snaps Astrid back into like, okay, we've got stuff to do. And so we'll begin to redirect towards assessing the injuries of the two peeps that have just crashed. And I think starts with Kai, just because Kai has a physical injury.
That makes sense. As you do that, Max, what do you do?
Okay. Listen, Danny, I've emptied both sleeves. there's nothing hidden there anymore. I do have to say though, no one checked my shoes. In between my toes, I have one last shenanigan.
Okay.
About 30 minutes ago, I rolled a 5 on the side effect, which says I learned something. And my last move for this session is I'm an outside observer. When I learn something, I learn 2 things. So, I like to cash those in now.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
And I'd like to know what is my best path forward and what is the best escape route.
Okay, I got to define a little bit here. What are you trying to escape and what are you trying to work toward?
Right now, work towards 3 of us are here. Kayla's still out there. So I think the work towards is all of us to safety at some point, back together. I think the escape route is this is a big glowing beacon of a fort right now, and there's at least a dozen and a half armed men down there, full adults in actual cars and not a bicycle with a rocket strapped to it.
Okay. I will answer that in a moment. Kayla, you have used your last action before what happens next already. In front of you, you see this rippling shadow staring into you, fold back in on itself, collapsing the human body that it had attached itself to, and disappearing into the ground. I need you to roll me 1d6, and I need you to call evens or odds. This isn't a mechanic in the game. This is for me to decide above table something.
Odds.
Okay.
3.
Who are you more afraid of right now, Kayla?
This thing.
You feel hands on your shoulders as the armed men grab onto you and say, "We got one of them!" and pull a bag over your head. There is something in the bag that causes you to lose consciousness, and you functionally crash out. This is not mechanical in the sense of it's not earned. When you come back in, you're still only going to have the conditions that you have right now to stick to the mechanics of the game. But for all intents and purposes, you crash out because you lose consciousness. Max is the only one who sees this as you are dragged off in the shadows toward these vehicles, and they call out, "I don't see any of the rest of them. We got to get out of here. It's too dark." And they get back in those vehicles and drive back from whence they came. As they drive back, Max, you see what looks like, that doesn't make any sense, right? the roofs of the pickup trucks look like they're moving a little bit, like they're pulling in on themselves. You asked me 2 questions. The best way for you to escape notice would have been cut all the power, but that doesn't seem to matter anymore right now. The best way to escape the greatest danger that you're in right now is to turn off the CB radio. The best way for you to get everybody to safety is to answer it. And that's all for tonight, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us again for Radical Resonance, our game of Rocket Club here at Streaming Rainbow. I am so grateful to everybody on this cast, and I would love to hear about all the other beautiful things that you all are doing. As we ended with the illustrious hidden jock, Maxime Dizon. Andy, would you do me the honor of going first?
Yeah, hi. My name is Andy. My pronouns are they, any. Tonight I was Max, pronouns they, them, currently not in any football club, but if anyone's looking. You can find me on Magnificence with the Tabletop Tail Spinners Network. And other than that, watch the other episode of this or go back and watch the first of The Valley, which I was on. And bad things also happened there, and I was also stressed. So, good time. I'll popcorn it to Green this time.
Okay, hi. I'm Green. I've been Marisol and also stressed. I can be seen on Hilarity Saves RPG running the Valley, and here, and probably other places eventually. But I'm mostly focusing on raising money for Clean Water Fund, so do that. Yeah, if you donate $30, you can have Danny read anything you want within reason, and whatever voice that you want him to attempt to do.
So as an interesting addendum there, I am so sorry for how hard this is for all of you and what a terrible position you're in. I'm so dedicated to clean water. I am extending the offer. So I am actually in the Valley at time of recording this upcoming Wednesday, and it has a rotating cast. I will do those cameos for the entire run of the Valley. So that offer does not expire when I stop. The entire time that Hilarity Save is raising money for the Clean Water Fund, you can pay $30 and make me, I'm not good at impressions, I want to be clear about this, read anything as anyone. Obviously, we're going to say it was you who told me to do it. So if you can live with the idea that you asked me to do what you asked me to do, I will do it. We will live or die together publicly.
I'm absolutely gonna have to donate just so I can get Danny to say that we're actually all totally fine and that everything ends well and that nobody dies.
Smart move.
But Green, I'm sorry if you had anything else. Yeah.
Other than that, I've been here. The dice tell a story, and Danny, you're gonna get a bill in the mail for my therapy appointment. So I'm gonna popcorn it to Neon.
Hello, I am Neon Saline. That is neon like the light, saline like the drip, and I have been here playing poor Kayla Michaels, who just got snatched for reasons we will probably find out next session. Where else can you find me? Just about anywhere on the internet under Neon Saline, except for Blue Sky, which is neonsaline.com. I do a lot of things. I write, I draw, I stream video games on my own channel. But then very, very next time you see me will be on the High Shelf Collective on Monday night at 9 p.m. There I will be playing Nowhereville with some lovely folks who you've seen across various networks that Danny has been running Rocket Club at. And I'm very excited for the next session of that. So looking forward to it. And I'm going to popcorn over. I think that leaves Fish.
Hello, I am Fish. You can find me all over the interwebs as Fish Finley. I sing, I draw, I play games. It's a very fun time. My pronouns are they, them. Currently taking commissions for character art. Commish the fish, as they say.
If you want things to go well for the Rocket Club, commish the fish. If you're not homophobic or racist or transphobic, commish the fish. The real villain, the real BBEG here is not commishing the fish. So commish the fish, y'all.
In addition to that, I am doing a lot of things all the time, constantly. Right now, I believe I am in the finale for the Fall of Taliva over on Somebody's Heroes, but there's a lot of things happening at the same time, and I couldn't tell you the dates off the top of my head, so go check out my card to see all of the things listed in an easy-to-find order with links and everything. Where to commission me is also linked on my card, so just find my card and do that. I've been playing Astrid, who is a totally normal teenage child, human child, who humans very humaningly. And they are mechanically doing absolutely fine, living their best life. Mentally, what?
Beautiful. Thank you, Fish. Thank you, everyone. I am once again Danny Mendoza, he, him. I have been our guide today through Radical Resonance. You can find me everywhere that internet things are found as Danny R. Mendoza. You just put in Danny R. Mendoza all together, and I'm there. Blue Sky is where I do my best to post all the stuff I do here. I could not possibly make you all sit through me telling you all the different things I'm doing now because I've put you all through enough tonight. I will become a proper professional and put a card together. I do have a link tree, but that's to see the things I've already been in. What I will say is I am a team member here. Please get in our Discord and come hang out with us if you like any of what you're seeing here. Like and subscribe. We are pushing to reach 1,000 subscribers because that changes what we can do as a channel. And we want to help grow not just the content that we make, but the community that it serves and includes. If you want to be in shows with us, come be in the Discord. If you want to hang out and play games with us off camera, come be in the Discord. If you want to chat with us about these shows or anything else, come be in the Discord. M's in the Discord. You can talk to M about the game. Go ahead and sign up, as I mentioned before, and you'll see links about this around what I'm saying, for the open playtest. If you're seeing this in time for that, I could not recommend it more. This game is unbelievable. Every session that I have run of every campaign of this has been incredible and vastly different. I really think that M has written something beautiful and special here. That's the main thing I want to push. Everything else, follow my socials. Have a great night. See you soon. And I believe...
No, the live is still there, I think.
We're about to